Today, the universe stops you in your tracks. But not to block you, just long enough to redirect you. See, Saturn in our sky is squaring Mars in Sagittarius, which means that it wants to refine the way that you're moving towards that goal. When we talk about Mars in Sagittarius, this is the sign that says yes before it's even asked the question. It likes adventure, impulsiveness, expansion, momentum, right? It wants to act now and then think later. It's the arrow that's, like shooting in the horizon towards a very specific target or goal. And it likes that sense of, courageousness. However, with Saturn is like the elder, and when it's in Pisces, it's like the elder of the ocean. It's the elder of the infinite potential timelines that are available to you. And it really is teaching us spiritual resilience, right? It's teaching us limitations and spiritual discipline in a lot of ways, right? We know that you want this thing, but we are making sure that the foundation that you're creating now is actually going to support this thing that you want. This is very much the energy for today. When that square happens between fire and water, right? We're talking about an elemental clash, if you will. This is where a dream kind of meets reality, where desire meets reality, but there is a level of where your action is also meeting some type of level of resistance. Whoa, I just thought I saw someone walking, but there was no one there. We're actually in a cave right now as well. And I was already feeling this energy before we even opened up this message, because I was in a really good spot, right? I really liked it. We're in like the whole valley of the meadows right now of 𝓤𝓪𝓷𝓬𝓪, and I was summoned up to this cave today to do this message for you. So I'll show you what it looks like when we close out the read. But yeah, this is a square that kind of forces a level of integration. It does pretty much force you to slow down, because otherwise you won't see something that the taskmaster wants to show you so that it can reward your efforts later on. So it could feel like something's kind of counterproductive. Saturn is asking us to align our intention, especially in Pisces, right, spiritually, before we act. This is very much about Mars wanting acceleration, because wherever Mars is, it likes to, expedite a process, let's say. But with Saturn, it's like, no, you're not moving forward until you're clear, right? So it almost is a gatekeeper energy that we're experiencing with the universe. But the beautiful thing about gatekeepers is each moment of stillness, right? Because it kind of feels like a block when we're meeting a gatekeeper, but each one serves as a puzzle piece, right? They serve as a puzzle piece that actually allows us to acquire something that we wouldn't have without this interaction, without this energy, that actually leads us towards the bigger picture, right? So this is leading you somewhere. It's actually allowing you to acquire something now that's going to be extremely valuable later on, right? So that you don't have to go back and look for that puzzle piece when you realize there's like one puzzle piece missing from this whole jigsaw that you've put together. So it can be frustration that you're experiencing, right, in what seems to be a delay. It can be feeling restrictive in some way or slowed down, right? It's like, hey, I want to get going, and it's like, no, not yet, right? And it's like you're having to do things properly instead of impulsively. It's the moment where we really have to cross all our T's and dot all our I's, is where we're wanting progress, but the universe is saying, wait, it's not a no, it's a not right now. I have something better in store for you, and trust me, right? So it's very much a facing maybe an old fear when it comes to limitations. Is there an illusion of stagnancy in which we're experiencing? That's actually a huge part of our evolution. It does remind me of divine timing, divine alignments, divine revelations. This could be a moment where you question if your plans are actually built on, fantasy, or if they're built with this faith as well. And it's where you're being redirected towards a better timeline, right? It's the moment that we wait and we get the better deal. It's the moment that we being asked to wait, and we find out that we had avoided something. This is like divine protection. When rejection is protection and redirection, that's the energy of what's going on today. It's the cosmic tension between like this raw desire but also this spiritual maturity, because if you think about it, the soul is never really in a rush. It's the ego, right, when we talk about Mars and Sagittarius, that loves to rush, it loves to race, right? But Spirit's saying it's not a race right now. You're running a marathon, so pace yourself, otherwise you know what happens. It's like the story of the tortoise and the hare. If I had to make an analogy, it's very much that, right? So the energetic feeling today could be like this start and stop And I'm going to go ahead and read to you also the cards that we have, because we have like the Devil, which also shows the vessel. So these are things that you're going to be experiencing within the vessel that encapsulates your soul right within this experience. And it could be where your impulse also meets a level of caution, right, from the universe or something within you. It could be frustration that actually leads to a deeper clarity. It is a redirection that's disguised as a delay today. It's not a no, it's a not this way, right? Again, we're refining, we're going through a refinement period. It's a course correction that's pointing you actually towards the right target. So psychologically within the vessel, you could feel blocked. You could, again, feel like you're doubting yourself in some way. Again, these are the limitations of Saturn energy. You could be second guessing your choices. You could be tempted to kind of escape, right? Escapism tendencies, disillusion, maybe even feeling energetically drained. But the redemption, when you kind of pass this test or this invitation, if you will, just to come into that stillness, come into that breath, to be able to really just slow down and clarify what your intention is. It's remembering your why. It's knowing that your force is aligned with that intention. That intention is something that grounds you. You're detaching from that impulsivity that could actually stem from fear, right? And you're able to choose a line action. This is where the energy actually begins to unlock. Mars starts moving again. And when Mars does start moving, almost from this temporary restricted state, you actually begin to move smarter, you move cleaner and more precise than before. And that is actually the gift of this aspect. It's where that frustration turns into a level of, self-mastery. It's where that doubt actually turns into purpose, delays turn into divine timing, and lessons turn into long-term success for you. So this is the energy, right? Let me go ahead and open up with this message first. So we have Go the Distance that came up reversed. So this is the protection message in this card. Let me go ahead and read it for you. So this says, do you feel as if you've been wandering in the desert now, ages and ages, and nothing is happening? When you conjure up the image of a desert, you picture parched lips, sunburnt skin, and mirages. But there is more to that. More than that. Amidst the hot sand are creatures with resilient spirits, tough skins, and the willingness to burrow deep underground for water. They may thrive. This is a time of developing survival skills and resilience. You are learning how to conserve your strength in this temporary time, and it's wise to be selective about where you expend your energy. Listen to the call of your soul, because it will never lead you astray. This is an important time for letting go of what's not important. And again, that's exactly what it feels like is going on today. It's like you're releasing all kind of thoughts and feelings that are not conducive. It's actually being able to see the hidden opportunity within what could feel like a seeming challenge for you. And then we also have first chakra Archangel Michael with a woman holding a heart, which is compassion. I feel like the biggest thing that you're needing to extend towards yourself today is compassion with Archangel Michael. Again, it is the root chakra. So it's asking yourself, are you doing this from a stable, secure, and grounded place? Or are you doing this from fear, right? Do you feel like you need to act as an impulse because of fear, right? Fear of, if I stop now, then it's almost like there's a standstill, there's a hold. It's almost like, are you acting from a place of survival? That's what it reminds me of. And let me go ahead and read to you the quote of Archangel Michael. He says, my first chakra is open, so it's perfect and in a healthy state. I'm strong, stable, and safe and secure. The Archangel Michael guides me in all I do. And this card is really about, again, in its highest octave, the reptilian brain, right? The root chakra is of service for you to feel grounded and safe, even in stillness, in this experience on earth. So when this card is upright, it reveals that your energy is flowing freely regarding these issues. Even if you've had problems with feeling secure in the past, can you feel secure in stillness? That would be the invitation today. Can you feel secure even in stillness, even when it seems like in illusion, there's not forward momentum? Because again, movement without actual purpose is not really productive, right? That's the energy. So you're doing things, but do you know why you're doing them? You know, are you present? Are you in your body while you're doing it? Are you aware that you're a soul having a physical experience while you're doing these things? How aligned do they feel with the soul, right? With Saturn and Pisces. So this is, again, bringing you strength and personal stability. You're capable of taking action and moving forward on your path. So allow yourself to feel increasing faith in your own power and security now and always. And then you also have the Dragon's Hoard and experiencing life as it comes with the shaman's dream oracle messages. So the Dragon's Hoard is about protecting the future. If you knew that this was actually some necessary process in your journey, would you be more welcoming to it, right? Would you kind of welcome in the stillness? And then you have Drifter experiencing life as it comes, which is trusting where the current is leading you right now as you enter into this season of exploration. So this talks about legacy and also true riches, protecting the future. This is ancient scroll sands inscribed with wisdom teachings lie within reach. This is a rich opportunity, okay, that you're basically stepping into. And it tells you that not all that glitters is gold. It also says what seeds will bear fruit when you're no longer here. This is about legacy, the things that you're doing that you'll take with you after this lifetime, right? The things that will impact almost those around you even after you're no longer here in the physical. So the biggest message from this is consider as well that your present, this moment, is the future of the dragon. You may be the one we have all been waiting for, so do not hesitate to take what bequest has been reserved for you since the beginning of time. So it feels like, again, you're coming back into alignment with something. Okay, so this is beautiful, right? And then Drifter experiencing life as it comes is what lights you up. Experiencing life as it comes, seeking the essence, but not knowing the form. This is an opportunity right now that's going to reveal itself to you. Do not wait for a map as this is on where you're destined to go, but be sure that you do have a compass to keep yours true. So this is about... this is the message. You know that life will find you and bring you everything you require without you having to search for it. So it's almost like, you know what it is? The seeker doesn't have to go and search for the answers. The answers will actually come to the seeker if the seeker remains still and receptive. That's the energy of today, because it says, this is so, oh my god, listen to this, right? It says, you know that life will bring you everything that you require without you having to search for it by simply being instead of frantic doing. Even as you let your mind wander, releasing it to go for a daily walkabout, call it home regularly to deliver the news from the cosmos. The Drifter helps you find what you were looking for, even if you didn't think that you were searching for anything at all. Your laziness is an underappreciated virtue. So this is about, again, not running full out on a hamster wheel and getting nowhere. This is about a complete redirection of your energy, right? It's like a new season. It's a shift in the way that you're doing things. That's what you're being invited back to. Okay, and then you have Higher Heart dropping shields. So again, this could leave you kind of feeling vulnerable because it feels like things are at a standstill, and because of that, there's an illusion of stagnation. But even in stillness, you can still allow the river of abundance to flow through you. That's what it feels like. Gratitude is the river in which abundance flows. And there's something around being grateful about knowing that you're being shown something new today, even if you may not know what it is going to allow that river to flow. And it's going to be a river in which you surrender to the current of and use that power as your own. That's what it feels like, okay? Now, with the Cosmos Oracle message, you have Fox P2 and also synchronous rotation. So synchronous rotation is those who do not want to be, those who do not want to see, and also those whom do not want to be shown. It talks about the dark side of the moon. So there could be an aspect within you, an octave within you, especially with the heart chakra shield activation that's happening, that you're having to extend compassion towards. It could be the fearful voice, right? When it feels like things are stagnant, when it feels like you're not doing something. Fox B2 is a communication being key. The key is how you speak to yourself during this transit, right? The relationship that you have with yourself. Again, the soul is never really in a rush. So does the ego kind of have exaggerated emotions or responses that actually are call for love, right? A call to kind of be acknowledged and integrated today. And then your next messages are the devil, right, that we have here, which is the 𝓲𝓻, so being aware of all the things that are happening within this 𝓲𝓻, okay, and allowing the still observer, the soul, to just kind of, you know, take a note of it. Oh, that thought of lack is coming up today. Okay, that's interesting. Where does that stem from, right? There's an opportunity to understand the root and understand the origin. Now, you also have 8 of cups. The 8 of cups is here, 8 of lotuses. 8 of lotuses is no longer negotiating with that fearful aspect of yourself, right? That just wants to act and act and act, but doesn't have like a clear sense of direction, or isn't present when they're taking the action. This is about walking not just away from something, but focusing on what's calling you. So there could be something that feels more aligned that's actually calling you. Instead of focusing on what it is that you're moving away from, focus on what it is that spirit's trying to move you towards, right? Because today, the universe is not pulling you away from anything. It's pulling you inwards, okay? And then you have the 4 of Embers, which is a celebratory card. So there is something tangible, okay, that's going to happen as a result of what it is that you're currently experiencing. This is a celebration. You know, it's also a soul contract card. It's a homecoming. It's welcome home to yourself. You can actually feel safe and secure and stability. It feels safe, secure, and stable within your body, within the situation, once again. So yeah, 4 of Embers is really, really beautiful here. It definitely feels like there is a welcoming home. It's like there's this inner still sanctuary that you're going to be able to retreat to, even amongst that voice of fear. So let me go ahead and read these for you. I'm going to read the 𝓲𝓻 and then also the 4 of Embers. Let me pick this up real quick. Okay, here, the 𝓲𝓻. So the 𝓲𝓻 is a glow of a peculiar vessel draws you in like a familiar embrace from a partner, and you feel radiating energy and edge closer towards it. It whistles a seductive song and you become fixated. You have to do this now, right? You have to do this now. All you can focus on is the vessel, and it urges you to open it. Ignoring the encryptions on the body, you remove the lid and everything around you goes dark. The most beautiful vessels can sometimes contain the most tragic stories. As humans, we all have problems that we don't show on the surface. We fill ourselves with things to distract us from reality. The vessel is much like a mask. It hides what it is truly underneath. If this card shows up, it's time to rein in your demons. That's exactly the energy. Don't let the materialism, addictions, and obsessions of this world cloud your brilliance. Okay, so it's not getting lost in the physical experience. That's what it is. It's not. This reality is more of a dream than it is real. Okay, it's not allowing. It's knowing that fear is a choice. Okay, fear is a choice. You can choose to see this through the lens of fear, or you can choose to see it through the lens of love. This is where that power of love, right, is overcome. It overcomes the love of power. That's what the ego likes. It likes the love of power. It likes control. And this aspect today is actually teaching you surrender. That's what it's teaching you. So, it can be all easy to get wrapped up in the success that you start to lose touch with your soul. Even when the terrible is swallowing you whole, there is still a light found in others. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. So this could be from, you know, your higher self, your highest possible expression, for sure. Let me go and read the 4 of Wands too. Okay, the 4 of Wands. Here. Okay, the 4 of Embers. Community, home, and celebration. In the heart of the woods, you find an old wooden shrine, radiating a peaceful, magical glow. Within the shrine are 4 candles, a bowl of spring water, and a figure offering blessings. Everything housed in the shrine is protected from the pummeling rain and lightning above. Small flags adorning the roof are scrawled with green glyphs that offer good luck, fortune, and a time of celebration and peace. Perhaps these sigils protect the shrine, but even in this wild storm, the candles have stayed lit. The shrine shows itself to us when we're approaching a midpoint of our journey. It reminds us that the work is not over yet, but that does not mean that we can't take a pause to celebrate and have self-care. Oh my gosh, it literally is a moment to admire how far it is that you've come. That's what it is. You know, sometimes in life we set these milestones, right? We set these targets for ourselves, and we spend so much time scaling this mountain, and then as soon as we reach that milestone, all we do is look at a next mountaintop in the distance. You know, we look at, oh my god, that mountain is bigger than this one, and then you climb off this one, and you don't take a moment to just enjoy the scenery. And there's something about, can you enjoy the scenery amongst life's detours, right? It's almost like what needs to shift is your perspective today. It's like, can you actually see that some of you are living in a reality that you had once prayed for? You know, it's almost like maybe you had prayed to reach the level of knowledge that you have. Maybe you have prayed to develop this kind of relationship with yourself. Maybe there was a goal that you aspired and you had actually reached, but you didn't take a moment to really savor it. You know, this is, again, gratitude, the river of gratitude, right? So it also says, your journey will be made much easier with proper rest and reflection. Often when we power through things without stopping, we may get there faster, but not as well off. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of it reminds me of me a little bit, because I can go for like long periods of time without drinking water, like if I'm hiking or I'm running, and I'm like, you know what, I'll have the water when I get to the destination because I don't want to stop. But then I'm like, okay, if I stop now, right, midway, then I'm going to be a lot more comfortable for the rest of the journey, because I'm not in this essence of like lack. I'm in this essence of wholeness. I have everything that I need within me. And that could be the energy of what's going on today. You know, it's like, just take a moment to drink that water, take a moment to just take it all in, because then you'll be moving forward more refreshed. You'll be moving forward in a completely different mindset, right? In a completely different feeling that you have for yourself. It's almost like, okay, I'm going to nourish my body. I'm going to nourish, you know, my soul with exactly what it needs at this stage, because again, it's not in a rush. That's exactly what's going on. So with that being said, I'm going to love and leave you guys right there. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. Also check out Otter Spirit if you're looking for some high quality AAA grade jewelry. We have 2 discount codes for that in the description box. And until next time, bye!